Okay, back on. So this is very important. So normally the disciple gives money to the guru, but that's the etiquette, the culture. But in this case, the disciple had some financial problem. The guru gave money to the disciple. And can you imagine how touched? Because the disciple knows that. It's not the normal thing to do. It should be the other way around. But he was so touched that the guru, Prabhupada, loves him so much. Another time, this is amazing, the disciple just got in Maya, and he said, he came into his guru, Prabhupada, and said, Prabhupada, I'm leaving ISKCON. I'm leaving you. And Prabhupada said, thank you very much for your service. And then he gave him like $50. Can you imagine? That's unheard of. Unheard of. What kind of level of love and compassion is that? That shouldn't happen. The disciple shouldn't leave the guru, but he's misused his free choice. He's done that. And still Prabhupada loves him so much. And just as a token gesture of his love, he's thinking that probably he doesn't have any money because he hasn't been working or anything. So I'll give him some money. So Prabhupada gave money, even though the disciples like leaving him, breaking his vows, but still, and just so touching like that. So just by all of his qualities were so wonderful that he just attracted everyone to him.
I think what maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but what you were sort of talking about with not revealing emotion also is that he could have quite possibly had a lot of different yogic powers. Like I remember once reading that the devotees were walking with him and it was on wet grass or something like that, and one of them looked back and there was no footprints where Prabhupada had been walking. So like those sorts of things he didn't really reveal these things, like, and also about, when one of the reporters asked him, where the information was coming from or something, and he said, Krishna tells me, and the devotee said, or Krishna tells you through your heart or something, and he said, no, he tells me directly. So there's like a couple of little things that I've heard that maybe you think, well, maybe he did have some of these yogic
he does,
powers, but he didn't sort of reveal that. He didn't reveal that. Like he had all those really loving qualities and all his wonderful qualities that he shared, but didn't so much share maybe what was going on behind in his spiritual life so much. Is that what you sort of mean? Like,
yeah. And there's another thing too. It can actually be a disadvantage that the guru is like appearing to be so much higher than everyone else. Like if you had mystic powers and if you showed all your mystic powers and things like that. And you see that's happened with the Christians. The Christians say that, Jesus is so pure, he's like God, but we can never become pure, that we're always just going to be sinful. And that's the way the majority of Christians, their philosophy works, is that Jesus is like on a pedestal. They put Jesus on a pedestal. He's like God. He's never done any sins, and he's just so pure. But we're all sinful, and we're always going to be sinful. And we just believe in Jesus, and and it's all forgiven. But they don't have so much impetus to stop their sins and become pure, because they just think it's good enough just to believe in Jesus. He's so pure, and then all our sins will be forgiven. But so if you put the guru on a higher pedestal, that he's like higher than all of us, then he's like God, then none of us will think that we can also achieve what he's achieved. But actually, it's much better that the guru is just like us. And then we think, well, they've become so advanced in Krishna consciousness, I also can be so advanced. They've given up sinful life, I can also give up sinful life. So it's not so good that if you have your guru, like he's levitating 1 meter off the ground all the time, you know, and he changes color and changes form and funny things, you know, falls on the ground unconscious for 3 hours and everything, then we're creating a separation between the guru and us, and we think we're never going to achieve that platform, that there's something different than us, you know, so that's not very desirable. Okay, Deep has raised her hand again.
Oh no. I just wanted to share, because I had this exchange recently with this lady. She's in the US, and yeah, she was something about, like, you know, to follow Jesus or to accept Jesus and all sins. And I kind of said, you know, I believe, I said, what Jesus means by following him is that to follow how he serves God, how he is devoted to God, and to not just in your head accept Jesus and all your sins are forgiven. And we had this, so it gave her food for thought, and she thought about it, and she didn't have anything to say. I said, it doesn't sound right if you just say, I accept Jesus and therefore everything is forgiven, and then I just continue as I am. It doesn't make sense. I said, you know, just so I said, so we had this conversation, and she kind of took it. At first she was countering with her viewpoints, but when I explained it to her the way we have been discussing, you know, in all of these classes and what you've taught us, and then she kind of, like, you know, she pondered a lot and she was thinking, and she kind of went away. She didn't have anything more to say, and she went away. And I just wanted to share that.
So there's a lot of misunderstandings there within a lot of Christians about their own philosophy, and it's not the way that it was originally presented by Jesus. He didn't want, obviously, his followers to keep committing sinful activities. He wanted them to become like him and live a pure life like that. And that's why Prabhupada would always get on their case, you know, why Jesus said thou shalt not kill, why are you not following that? You know, so that was the expectation, that they would follow those, you know, rules, those guidelines like that. Not just saying, you know, I believe in Jesus and that's enough, but, you know, they should live, you know, like Jesus. Okay, let's continue on. So the idea with, like, a verse like this, I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, is to try to make God the center of our life. We should make God the center of our life, the center of our goals. Sustainer means real. Always we should be thinking that, have faith that God's maintaining us. Another way of saying sustainer, we don't often use the word sustainer, but like maintainer, sustainer, maintainer, same thing. Who's sustaining us, maintaining us. So we think, oh, the government is maintaining me, or my parents are maintaining me, or my husband's maintaining me, or, you know, my parents are maintaining me, or whatever. My boss is maintaining me. But all these persons that we've said are maintaining us, they're actually instruments for Krishna. So actually, like, say our father, say we're a kid and we have a father is maintaining us, but that father is actually just an energy of Krishna. It's actually Krishna is the father. He's the one that's maintaining us through, and we talked about in a previous session, even many examples where, say, the father is taken out of the equation. You don't have a father, he died, or he ran away, or, you know, deserted his post or whatever like that, and then does the kid die or whatever? No, that often the case is that that child will be maintained or provided for through some other person. So if one instrument's not working, Krishna can just maintain through another instrument like that. But actually Krishna is the one that's maintaining us. We think it's the government, but actually the government is also an energy of Krishna. And the boss at work is an energy, an instrument for Krishna. So it's ultimately, it's Krishna's the maintainer. And that's
so
why
that... We have to pay the tax on time.
What's that?
We have to pay the tax on time.
Pay the tax on time.
Because it's from, you know, you can't steal Krishna's money. If the Krishna's, you behind your taxes, you got no chance. You go on.
Yeah, so no, we have to follow the laws of the land. Have to follow the laws of the land. But yeah, Krishna's the ultimate maintainer. So we always want to be remembering that. So we don't want to just be thinking about our boss and our parent and so forth. We want to think about what's behind that. What's behind that? Like in that verse I just quoted before from Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Govinda. The last line is Sava Karana Karanam. So Sava means all, Karana Karana means cause of all causes. So he's the cause of all causes. So you could say our cause, what's our cause? The cause of our existing is our mother and father, right? But what's the cause of the mother and father? And take that back further, the grandfather, take that back, great-grandfather, take that back. You'll get back to Manu and take Manu back, Brahma, take Manu back, Brahma back, Vishnu, take Vishnu back, ultimately Krishna. You know, so Krishna is the cause of all causes. So he's our ultimate maintainer and master and everything. And the witness. So Krishna's in our heart. He sees and hears everything. He knows all of our desires. He knows all of our activities that we do, all the good and bad that we do and everything. So he's always witnessing everything. The abode. So abode means like a place, but also abode can mean, you know, like where you live, right, is your abode. It's meant to be like a shelter. So Krishna is the ultimate shelter of everyone, where we can find shelter, protection, like that, feel safe. He's the ultimate refuge for all of us to feel safe like that and give us shelter. And then that's our abode is your home, right? So our real home is with God. See, one of our main problems is we think our home is Newcastle, our home is Australia, our home is New Zealand, whatever, Kaitaia, whatever like that. But that's actually not our real abode, our real home. Our real home is in Vaikuntha, is at Krishna's lotus feet in the spiritual world. That's our abode. That's our home, is with Krishna, living with Krishna. And refuge. So yeah, refuge means like shelter, protection. So yeah, Krishna's the ultimate one to protect us. We think, oh, the government will protect me, my big muscles will protect me, my strong husband will protect me, my big brain will protect me, all the money in the bank will protect me, and so forth. My insurance policy will protect me. But actually, none of these things will really protect us. But the only thing that's really going to protect us is God. Like we've said many times, you know, Raka Krishna Marike, Mara Krishna Raka K. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can protect you. And if Krishna wants to protect you, no one can kill you. One of my aunties was born with a hole in her heart. And the doctor said, I'm sorry, my dear, you're probably not going to live very long. But yeah, she lived 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And then her husband was a super healthy fitness freak, rugby, soccer, tennis, swimming, everything. One day he was out playing some sports and he just keeled over dead. And then my auntie is still 50, 60, 70 with a hole in her heart. So It's ultimately God is protecting us, you know, and God can take us out anytime, and if he wants, he can keep us going. And ultimately, he's our most dear friend. And one of the best qualities of a friend is, you know, he's always stays with us. That's a real friend. Like we say that, right? Through thick and thin. That's the best kind of friend, through thick and thin. You know, a friend in need is a friend indeed. You know, so the friend, a friend is that, the quality of a friend is that person that always stays with us. So who is it that always stays with us? That's God. Because even though, you know, my friends now might stay with me for a few decades or whatever, my parents for, you know, the first part of my life, and then my, you know, say a partner might stick with us for our whole married life, whatever that goes for. And then ultimately, no one's going to stay with us after death. But God stays with us this life, next life, next, and all the past ones, 10 lifetimes ago, 20 lifetimes ago, 100, 1,000,000. Like that, ever since the soul comes to the material world, God has been with us. When we first came here, that could have been millions of lifetimes ago. There's 8,400,000 species. It's highly likely if you're in a human body, which is 8 million from the bottom, that you've had at least 8 million births. At least 8 million births. You know, and God's been the only one that's been there consistently through all of them like that. And even if you go back down from human to become a slug in the bottom of the ocean, then he's still going to be with you. So he never leaves us. That's our most dear friend. And that's called, as this verse says, Suhrit. Suhrit. Hrit means heart, and Su means like really heart-to-heart friend, really close to the heart. That's Suhrit. You know, Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. There's actually many words for friend. You've got like a very formal kind of friend, which is called mitra. Mitra. That's like at work, like when you're going to work. That's like your business associate or whatever. That's a very formal kind of friend. And then you've got a family member, that kind of friendship, close friend, like family. That's called bandhu. Bandhu. So mitra, bandhu. And the most intimate, loving friend that will never leave us in any condition, that is Suhrit. Suhrit. So Krishna is that, Suhrit. And the spiritual master is also Suhrit, like that. Very close to the heart. And then he says, I am the creation and the annihilation. So yeah, he's the beginning and the end of everything. Because what is the beginning of the universe? That's the creation. What is the end of the universe? That's the annihilation. So he's both. The prabhava means the creation, and pralaya, the destruction. And then sthanam, the ground. Yeah, so in between creation and destruction, then you have some ground there. There's maintained for some time. So it has a beginning, and then it's maintained for some time, and then it's destroyed. So Krishna he's the beginning, he's the middle, and he's the end of everything, like that. So, and the eternal seed. So he's the source of everything. But this is what we're supposed to realize. That's what we're supposed to realize. And
so if in the next life, if the next life I'm born in the Muslim family or a Christian family, then I'll be practicing Quran and the Bible.
Possibly.
Then what about all these learning this life? What about all these learning in this life?
I mean, it's possible, but it's highly unlikely because, you know, it says, I mean, you can look at that, second chapter, text 39.
Second 39.
Yeah, second chapter, 39 or 40.
Yeah. First of all, I have described this knowledge to be you.
No, 40. 40.
40. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and the little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
Yes, it's highly unlikely you're going to go back to being a Christian or a Muslim, whatever. It's more likely that you may have been a Christian or a Muslim in your last life, and that you now you're coming to Christian consciousness. Because it's like you wouldn't be doing postgraduate first and then going to primary school after that, would you? You'd normally go to primary school and then finish with postgraduate. So yeah, you normally wouldn't go from Krishna consciousness to being born in a Christian family or a Muslim.
But the thing is, I'm born in the Hindu family, but you are like born in the Christian family halfway through.
No, I was born in an Asura family.
Asura family, and halfway through you took the detour and you become a Vaishnava.
Yeah. What's the point?
The point is like you didn't wait till the next life you're born in India. You just merge into this life only. That was your last life to Christianity. Next life you are born in India, but you didn't wait.
But last life,
Giant is saying I shouldn't say that I was born in a Asura family, but I can't help it. It's the truth. You know, I was born in a family of Asuras.
But then devotee.
And I'm not no disrespect to my parents, but it's a fact. I mean, Prahlad Maharaj, even though he loved his father, he said he's the king of the Asuras.
They couldn't be Asuras. They had you. Look at you. They had you, and look at you as a devotee. It's impossible for them to be Asuras. They were.
That's right.
No,
don't say like that. Don't.
Even
there's nothing wrong with saying that they're Asuras.
Ravan was the Asura, but he's a great devotee of Shiva.
What's that?
Ravan was an Asura, but he was a great devotee of Shiva.
Correct. And that's one of the qualifications of being an Asura, is that you are a devotee of demigods. Actually, a devotee of demigods is also categorized as an Asura.
So maybe the Krishna has a plan. And next life,
like Hiranyakashipu was a great devotee of Lord Brahma, and he's categorized as an Asura. Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He's categorized as an Asura.
I think in your case, Krishna changed his decision, because this life you have to be born in Christian family, next life, but you said, no, I can't wait. And then your devotion, Krishna changed that. That's it. You are in.
Well, what has Krishna consciousness got to do with your family? It's completely transcendental. This is a transcendental process. You know, what does Krishna consciousness depend on? That's a good question. What does it depend on? It doesn't depend on the family you're born in, because that's to do with the body. But Krishna consciousness is only to do with the soul, nothing to do with the body. So what does Krishna consciousness depend on? It does depend on something. So we should know what it is. What is the source of Krishna consciousness? Where does it come from, Krishna consciousness? How do you get it? Where do you get it from?
It's come from Krishna consciousness, come from your guru, which is Prabhupada, Acharya. You know, when like a big me, I'm born in India. I probably know that from the little age, but the others, they founder is Prabhupada, from Prabhupada.
So it comes from the mercy of a devotee. That's the origin, the beginning of Krishna consciousness is for the mercy.
I think Krishna himself is very much involved in, because like even for me, I mean, I speak of my own example where just out of nothing, I just got flicked towards the bhakti tree. I see, go for food, and then one thing led to another. You know, and then, but from nowhere, out of nowhere, but it was only because he kind of directed in some way, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that is there as well.
There was no other,
So it said Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So it said that the seed or the source of the creeper of devotion, because bhakti is compared to a creeper, like a climbing plant climbs up a tree, right? So we want to climb up. The soul wants to climb up from the material world to the spiritual world. So the source of that that's the bija of bhakti, that comes from Guru Krishna Prasad, the mercy of the Guru and Krishna. And how that combination works to give us Krishna consciousness, it said, by the mercy of Krishna, you get a Guru. And then by the mercy of the Guru, you get Krishna. So why is it that a very interesting question is, why doesn't Krishna give everyone a Guru? Why only some people get given a Guru? If they're only giving some people, then people might...
Depend like is the Prabhupada, remember the Prabhupada says, when the disciple ready, Guru will appear. Depend on your efforts. If you do the efforts, yes, Krishna will arrange the Guru.
Yeah. So when the person is receptive to Krishna consciousness, then Krishna arranges that they get to meet a devotee. Now, what is making one receptive and not receptive? So receptive, the main thing to be receptive is you have to be humble. And not receptive means proud. So, okay, we're coming from, all of us, guaranteed in the material world, coming from proud, false ego. So how do you break down the pride and become humble? That is called suffering. So you can see that in every devotee's life before they came to Krishna consciousness. I guarantee there will be some form of suffering there. And they become humble. And in the humble state, normally what happens when you're suffering, who do you call out to when you're suffering?
Father.
Yeah, who's the Supreme Father?
Yeah.
Actually, Jayanti does that quite often. She'll say, Appa, Appa, Amma, Appa, which is Tamil for mum and dad. But ultimately, if the suffering gets too much and you realize mum and dad even can't help me, then you call out to God. Call out to God. And I've met many people and they reveal that to me, that before they got some special mercy from the devotee, then they had called out to God.
The one devotee want to say hello. Come here. As one devotee want to say hello.
Hey, Brett. Hey, Augusta.
And now call me the garbage man.
God. Humble service. That's
humble service.
That's the best. Humble service.
That's very important service.
Yeah, so he's the one, running the show, is the backbone of the Bhakti tree. Bhakti tree will collapse if he and Mahabhadra won't be here.
I don't know about backbone, but I feel like a donkey.
But still, you're a donkey of Krishna.
I'm a donkey of Krishna.
That's it. He's a good donkey.
Yeah. So yeah, normally that will be there. There'll be some kind of suffering there. And we know that, like, even deeper, you've told us how you had those car accident and, really difficult, obviously really traumatic experience like that. And then Krishna, you've obviously, some things have gone on in your consciousness, and Krishna has had some faith that you'll appreciate the value of Krishna consciousness, and you did. You came to the Bhakti tree, and you did appreciate the value of it. So and we know Gulshan had some cancer issues and so forth, and we've all had different things. I was just so lost. I knew I was lost. I had the humility to realize that I was confused. I was so lost, and I was.
Jayanti never been lost. Jayanti just come to find the truth. Is that right?
She's the best.
Never been sick or anything, lost or anything. She just come for looking for truth. Krishna.
Actually, no. She actually had some health issues.
Yeah, I was suffering.
She had some health issues, and then that crushed her pride.
If she was a devotee,
I'm still working on her pride, but but her health issues. She's going to bash me on the head now.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, she had some health issues. Actually, she wasn't receptive. She told me before, and then after the health issues, her receptivity turned 180 degrees.
Yeah, I became totally
Yeah, she
confused.
will openly, say that, She went from anti-Krishna to pro-Krishna due to some suffering, So it's the suffering makes us more humble, and the humble, then Krishna will arrange you can meet with a devotee. Because why Krishna's going to arrange you meet with a devotee if you're puffed up and you're not going to take any benefit? So you're never going to meet the devotee. Krishna won't waste time. Why waste time? If you're proud, you're not going to have an open mind and everything like that. So that's actually part of Krishna's universal plan to arrange that the material world is full of suffering. That's why it's dukkhalayam shashvatam, temporary and full of suffering, to bring down that pride that we all have. Because why do we come here? We want to be God, right? So that's the ultimate pride. Right? We're all so puffed up. We all want to be like God. It's actually said the very first birth in the material world for the soul is take birth as Lord Brahma. So we have our own universe, Gulshan. So Gulshan had his own universe, and Bhaktimala, Deepa had their own universes. That's the first birth. So we wanted to be God. That's why we came here. And then, if you stuff up in your Lord Brahma life, then you go down, 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 down.
We all stuffed up.
And if you're a good Brahma, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, then you can go back to God here.
I believe something different. Like, you must be doing some act, and then the Krishna got a mercy on that act. And then he says, okay, Abhay Prabhu, you just did something when he was 24 or 25 or something. Some good act you did there, and then Krishna just really, really fall in love with that act. And then he gives a mercy, and you come to Krishna consciousness, or he shows you the path. And ultimately, something
that's
you
there.
did that
Pious
in your
activities are
life,
there.
which you don't know, but Krishna is so merciful. And then Krishna says, yes. He just touched the heart. Even, I don't know, it could be very little thing, but Krishna just look at it and say, whoa. He just grab you and just put you in the association with the devotee, and then the rest will be taken care by itself. Something, Deepa must be done something, act like that. Krishna just seen that, he said, wow. Bhaktimala also, same, done something. And then you just right through in the heart of the Krishna, and Krishna will say, wow.
But it might not even be in this life. It might have been from
Maybe
prior
past
life.
life.
Of course.
Maybe,
if you're Krishna conscious in this life, there's a very good chance you had some exposure to Krishna consciousness in a past life.
Could be past life. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So don't worry, Gulshan. I don't think you're going to take birth as a Christian. I don't think it's going to go that way around.
Okay. I was thinking, you know what? If I take birth as a Christian, it'll be a lot easier. You have to be worried about only one Bible, not 350 books for the Ishopanishad, Purans, and the Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita.
No, that's right. No, we've been reading Bhagavad Gita for 4.5 years. Even before that, I was reading it, still reading it there.
After that, you're gonna start the Bhagavatam. No, I'm not gonna die. Don't let me die.
We're still only in the 9th chapter. It's like
like Muslims are great. One book, done deal.
Actually, in the Nectar of Devotion, it says it's not favourable to bhakti to read too many books. Shouldn't read too many books. It's better to read a few books very thoroughly, very deeply, than just superficially read many books. So we follow that philosophy, and that's why
in the chapter 2, Arjuna was telling that, why would I fight in there, this, and then Krishna says, you read too many books, Mari. Just listen to me. But he just like too many books and read that. That's why Krishna says, no, just listen to me. Bhagavad Gita, that's it.
So that's why I take time to read the verses, so we can go more deeply into it. Better to go deeply than just superficially. Well, we've got a few minutes, so let's just read the purport. Bhaktimala, you want to read the purport? Gati?
Gati means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suraloka, Indraloka, Mahaloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets, being manifestations of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is a supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is a supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And wherever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must also be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity, and since Krishna is the source of our generation, or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes.
Joy.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Joy. Krishna. Very interesting, important point what Prabhupada says in the middle. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, or that will save time and energy. Like he was saying, you know, people have a goal to go to Suryaloka, Indraloka, Chandraloka like that, but these are different energies of Krishna. But then Prabhupada said better to go to Krishna, not to the energy. So to go to the energy, Prabhupada's saying that's indirectly Krishna. It is Krishna, but it's indirect. It's just the energy. But we should go direct. So we should go straight to Krishna like that. That will save time. Like you can go to Chandraloka and then next life, Suryaloka, next life, Indraloka. But that's going to take a long time. Better to directly just go. And then Prabhupada gave a beautiful example. Better to go up the elevator, go right to the top than just step by step like that.
But Prabhu, if I can just clarify, in some of our discussions, we've, you know, how Krishna is so perfect. I mean, that we are not qualified to go directly to him. That
You have to go
through guru, or and I've heard along the way some people like this, like apparently Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is more, he's more, how to say, is it like he's more easygoing, like, you know, to that. Yeah, so then I just trying to, because to go directly to Krishna then is, I'm not at all qualified in any way.
But thinking that you're not qualified is part of being qualified. You know what I'm saying? So if you think you're qualified, that disqualifies you. Means you're proud, right? So like I said, humility. So humility, what's humility? I'm not qualified. I'm fallen. I'm lowly. I'm rotten. Like Prabhupada's, you know what the mantra Prabhupada said for offering food to Krishna is, prasadam?
I have it here.
He said, please take. my Lord. I'm begging you, please take. I'm just a beggar. I'm not qualified. I'm rotten, Prabhupada said. He said, the devotee in his prayer says, I'm not qualified, I'm rotten. I have no qualification to offer this food to you, but I'm just trying to assist my Guru Maharaj has ordered me to offer this food to you. So I'm just doing it under his order. Otherwise, I have no qualification. I'm rotten, Prabhupada said. And actually, when he said the word rotten, his voice started to crack up. I mean, he's so feeling that how rotten that he is. That's actually the qualification, is to not feel qualified. And if you think you're qualified, I'm a Brahmin cook. I've bought the best quality and ghee and sugar and everything, the organic vegetables and everything, and I'm so qualified and everything. Then Krishna doesn't accept your offering, mate. I'm sorry. Because as soon as you become proud, that disqualifies you. So that's part of being qualified, is to be humble and to think that you're not qualified. And the real qualification comes in, like we were saying, we're just assisting the Guru. So you're saying that we're not directly approaching Krishna because we're approaching through the Guru, but that's also direct, because the Guru is Krishna's intimate friend, representative. So it's not the same as indirect, meaning going to Surya Loka, Chandra Loka, that's indirect. But going to the Guru, that's not indirect. That's direct. That's direct. So the spiritual master is linking us up with Krishna immediately, directly. Like even say when we go back to the spiritual world, are you hanging out with Krishna all the time? Probably not. Who you're probably hanging out with is Krishna's servants, and you're assisting them. So you're assisting Radharani, Mother Yashoda, and Lalita Vishaka, and things like that, who all have direct relationships with Krishna, but you're assisting them. You're making the garlands and gathering the cooking ingredients and all the different things like that, and assisting those that are directly like that. So what we really are is we're the servant of the servant of the servants of Krishna, like that. And then that's what a devotee aspires for. We don't aspire for, that I want to become Radharani, or I want to become Arjuna, or I want to become, Mother Yashoda. No, we want to serve those devotees. So even don't think that, I have a spiritual master here in the material world, but when I go back to Godhead, I won't have a spiritual master. No, you will. You will. Not in the sense of exactly like it is here, but you'll have some leader there, someone senior to you in charge, and you'll be serving them. So in the same way, it's just like having a spiritual master. So don't think the spiritual master is temporary, and when I go back to Godhead, there won't be a spiritual master anymore. No, there will. It's said in the scriptures, the relationship between the disciple and the spiritual master is eternal. It's eternal. But that's not indirect. That is your eternal connection with Krishna, is through someone else that has, love for Krishna, like that. That's not indirect though. That's our perfection, to have that relationship with other devotees, the spiritual master, Shiksha Gurus, Diksha Guru, like that. That's our eternal perfection. It's not, we don't want to minimize that as indirect. No, that's direct. Actually, if it was a choice of having devotion for Krishna and having devotion for the devotee, is probably more effective to have devotion for the devotee. And the saying is, the saying is from the rich man, first love my dog. First love my dog. You know, can you approach the rich man directly? Not likely. But if you treat his dog very nicely, then immediately the rich man will love you if you respect his dog. But if you kick his dog on the head, then good luck. He's never going to look at your face ever again in this life. You know, so that connection we have with whoever's intimate friend of Krishna is very essential, very important. And why I say even more important than with Krishna, because what service can you give to Krishna?
Nothing.
What does he
Nothing,
need? He's got everything. What can you do? You're going to get stuck real quick. But what can you do for a devotee? I can pull out a long list of what you can do for a devotee. Devotees need so many things. Like Prabhupada needed so many things. And if you provide one of those so many things, you got a ticket back to Godhead, mate. You got your ticket back to Godhead. If you provide one of the so many things that Prabhupada needed. But you try to find one thing that Krishna needs, good luck. So it's better, more effective to make that relationship with some deer dog. Like Prabhupada said, we are Krishna's dog. This is our dog collar, do you know? This is our dog collar. Krishna's dog. Yeah. Anyway, nice questions you've brought up. Nice points. Unfortunately, we're over time. And I just wanted to say, yeah, I've got some catering coming up very soon, and that's going to go for 3 weeks. So we'll be on track again next month. So for the rest of it. But if you all want to get together.
Are you inviting us for the catering?
If you want to, you can come. You can come. Always welcome.
Come and help and eat.
You can come and help and eat. Yeah.
Whenever free feast, I can go, no matter what.
Your van cannot.
Gulshan is completely. He's a Parivrajikacharya, free spirit now, like Narada Muni.
A lot of people call me homeless. I said, well, you know, okay, you can call me anything, but yeah, so less is better. But yeah, so I learned some from Bhakti Mala. She's been there, done that. Yeah, that's okay. No, it's all good. I'm gonna start make salad. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
That's my hand.
Okay, you all take care, and we'll catch up with you in next month. But if you want to get together, if you want to just you guys get together, that's perfectly fine too, and read from
no,
Bhakti.
you know what? When you're not there, there's one guy